what are you writing?
Oh, I'm writing some essays. It's still trying to clarify and amplify what I've already written, really. But I sent a few of it, sent that view from my knothole to Moyer, and I sent it to a fellow in MIT. He was interviewed by Moyer on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent one to this fellow down here running this farm institute in Kansas. It's radical, ethically and philosophically. And I got a letter from the fellow in MIT. He answered the phone and said he hadn't had a chance to read he'd read some of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also got a letter from the fellow down here in Kansas, and he'd read the letter, and he said he had read some of it.
Yeah.
And he liked what he read. But the fellow in MIT hadn't had a chance to read it.
Yeah.
So the essay hadn't got there when he answered.
Yeah.
And, but he liked my letter. But this fellow at MIT, he's really good. I forget.
Who is it? What's his name?
Huh?
What's his name?
I forget. Oh. He's written several books. I don't remember now. I have his name. But, let me, hold on.
Okay.
You can see in the library if you got any books by, his last name is Chomsky. Noam.
No. Okay.
He has written a new book. I don't know where it's out or not. He certainly analyzed the situation, and I got the impression he feels like I do. I can't find any group that fits into my category. They're just not talking my language. There's plenty of people that know what the problem is and understand and protest and feel bad about it. But they still want to solve the problem by the same old means. It's the means we use that makes it impossible for us to do any better. And we've got to, it's the terms of which we expect people to cooperate. You expect 7 million people today work for minimum wage. You expect them to cooperate nicely to make society possible on that basis. Hell, they won't do it. Sooner or later there'll be war, revolution. And all that sort of stuff. Just this week, the economist who was interviewed asked him why is the inflation now. Well, he said there's too many employed. When the employment rate goes below 6%, you'll see an increase in inflation. Now, think about it. Our economy cannot operate unless it keeps an unemployment pool of 6% of the workforce. That's murder. And yet we go on. We still go on trying to cooperate on the same basis. It's that. Well, we've got to realize that it's not because the people are necessarily bad. It's because the way we try to do things is bad. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Lawyers ever stand up and say that?
No, Bill Moyer and the people he's interviewed. The people I read, including Schweitzer, haven't really faced this problem. They accept the fact that poverty and unemployment and all the things, the competitive economic enterprise is infallibly unchangeable, I reckon. They just assume that it has to be that way. Evidently. They don't face this fact, as I can find. Even the socialists don't have an equality. We talk about all men are created equal. Love your neighbors, you do yourself. What kind of terms of cooperation would be consistent with that? certainly the competitive one who compels some to lose. When you have in a competitive game, somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
You're competing for a job. If you get it, somebody else loses. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you're competing for a market, it depends on somebody else. Ever who wins, the other one loses. The point is, we won't even recognize it. I don't know when it's possible. We're always talking about peace, talking about getting rid of poverty. All this, we're always talking about this is what we want. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if we really do, we got to ask ourselves how to get there. What ways that we are doing now that prevent us from getting there? Yeah, it's not because people don't want these things, evidently. But we still go on trying to do them, getting there the same way they've been trying to get there for 6,000 years. And it hasn't worked. History shows that. And it's in this field that I feel we ought to struggle. You see what I mean? Whether or not it's possible, I don't know. I'm quite sure it's impossible the way we've been trying to get there. That's all. And it seems to me like a lot of people more intelligent than I am should be able to see that. But the problem is, it's just like you said, nobody believes it's possible. So you're just wasting your time. Well, you're wasting time the other way anyhow. Going along with a system that plunges the world into wars and keeps the masses of people in poverty and unemployed. I don't care what you do, if you don't change the way we do things, that's the way it's going to be. Or history tells you that. Administration, all the workers that had decent jobs had to take a serious cut in wages all across the country in order to get down inflation. We have to depend upon a lot of people working for a minimum wage, a lot of people unemployed, down inflation. Hell, that's murder. But that's the way our economy works.
Well, Daddy, you're just as inspiring as ever.
I'm sorry.
I love it. I just went to church. I do. You're good, Daddy.
I'm not going to mope the rest of my life, but what I'm trying to do is to say what I really think and feel. Whether it does any good, I've decided to send everybody that comes along and I feel like is even looking in that direction. I want to send them something.